All right, hello and welcome to Swing It and Ding It, an iHeartMedia podcast. This is Moose along with Harry Mays, and we are presented by Draftkings Sportsbook. More on that when we see the line for the PGA Championship. Also, All Access. More on that when we talk about how to plan a really good golf trip. And also Comcast Business, introducing ultimate speed for business, the fastest internet plans yet from Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Return guests, Harry. They're our favorite, aren't they?
They're the best.
They really are. And we are very fortunate to welcome back Sean Palmer, Director of Golf for the Union League and also General Manager out at Liberty Hill. Sean, welcome back to Swing It and Ding It, man.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be here.
No doubt. So, Harry, we could talk about Union League golf like every week.
Every week, yeah.
About everything that's going on. And we'll talk about how I finally played national last season. But when something new and breaking in the Philly golf scene happens, we got to hear about it. And something pretty cool is happening out of Torresdale. Sean, tell us about what's going on. Is it this week?
Thursday, yeah. Thursday,
Wow.
we actually get to hit some shots on our brand new 9-hole short course. So we had some, believe it or not, Torresdale, which is a landlocked golf course. It's been around.
Yeah, I'm like, where did we find this land?
Yeah, right. we had some room there to the right of our driving range. So we made some room and we put an awesome 9-hole golf course in. We have so much demand for golf. We have such a busy membership at the league. And our teaching program is really, really busy. We do things a little differently than most clubs. So with that demand, we thought we've got this space here. We had the resources to do it with some great architects and friends in the business. And we wanted to lead in having one of the first 9-hole short courses in the area. So that's what we did.
Well, tell us about the architect, because we're architecture geeks here, whether it's 9 holes, 18 holes, it doesn't matter.
Well, we tapped into our friends at Reese Jones Design. Steve Weiser is one of the principal architects with Reese Jones, and he's a good friend of mine. And when we were shopping around for golf courses in South Jersey, Steve was a huge help for us to really help us arrive at Sand Barons back when we did. Obviously, Dana Fry and Jason Straka redesigned that golf course and did a fantastic job. That was their original project. But Steve, I really love what Steve does. He's an underspoken kind of guy. Like, he just goes and plugs away, and he's a great resource. And then he worked with Chase McEvers, who's a young man who was a shaper. So he's the guy on the excavator with a lot of the top architects in the country. He worked for Doak. And then he came up, and we were lucky enough to grab Chase and actually hire him full time on our staff at the Union League, because we have a lot of projects going on. He built a putting green for us at Liberty Hill outside of our lodge. And we said, hey, go nuts with Steve and let's build something great. So we all collaborated on what that might be. And we have a really unique 9-hole course. So we actually don't have tees. So there's multiple routings that you could play on this course. And we want to have a lot of fun with this. We didn't want to formalize it. We have a really great piece of land that could be looked at in multiple ways. And, when you go to the great resorts of the world, like you guys talk about travel all the time. I know Casa de Campo, Robert was talking about maybe building a short course out there somewhere on that property. I just got back from Pebble Beach playing in a Pro-Am a couple weeks ago and played the Hay.
I get to play it. And I was going to ask you about that. I get to play it in July. So
it's awesome. Oh my gosh. The views are incredible. It's just a lot of fun. You're out there grabbing a couple clubs and a drink and enjoying it. And I've been lucky to travel with golf and played some great resorts. And, you have a great time after 18 holes playing that short course. So we wanted to bring a little bit of that social golf to it, but we have so much invested in teaching the game of golf at the league. So I don't know if you know, but our whole program is, if you join the Union League and be a golf member, you don't actually pay for golf lessons.
Okay.
So we do a complimentary lesson program it's baked into everything. So the number one thing that keeps people away from playing the game of golf, and the reason people walk away from it, it's too hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so we took all those barriers down. So when you join the club, we actually have golf clubs for you to try out to experience becoming a golfer. And then you can take one lesson per week with us. So we've seen a tremendous growth.
Once a week? Once a week?
Once a week. So we have a lot of members that join. They play golf, and we've had a couple folks actually shoot in the 80s in their first year, because they're taking a lesson a week, they're playing golf, and they're getting into it. And Torresdale, as you guys know, if you've played it before, is those greens are classic old Philly greens. They're tough, man. It's not an easy course to just jump out on. So it's like a double black diamond for some people.
It's Donald Ross.
Yeah. It's I think some of the best architecture in the Philadelphia area. And, creating this short course gives us, like, we're bridging the gap between the driving range and the first tee. So we're creating that option that we need to present in order to grow golf at our clubs and provide a little relief to the full course, and then have so many different options of what we could do with the short course.
Now, did you have to move anything with the existing course in order to accommodate, or was that able to stay completely intact?
Yeah, it stayed completely intact. We had some wooded areas that we removed, some dead trees and some really invasive stuff back there, and moved a little bit of earth, but not a lot. We have a huge tree replanting program that we're doing, working with the city on that. And so we really were lucky. It didn't affect our big course at all. And it complements our driving range. So looking to potentially build a teaching academy there as well, and then add TrackMan range. So playing golf and learning golf is going to be, it's going to be hard to beat it from that property.
It's called the Landing, correct?
We call it the Landing. So if you play Torresdale, we're right next to Northeast Airport.
Yeah.
You got these little jets and Cessnas coming in all the time. And I think Torresdale is such a cool property. I mean, you're in the city. You can't hide it. You just embrace it.
Right.
Like, you are in Northeast Philly, and it is cool. It's an oasis in Northeast Philly. And you get the plane zipping overhead, and we just went with it. So our marketing team, Brian McShalley, who does our golf marketing and our branding, he did a fantastic job coming up with these really cool elements, discussing, the landing with aircraft coming in. And so it's sort of, it's got that theme to it.
Is it lit up at all?
It's not lit up. No.
Did you consider that?
We could consider it. I think we'd have to ask some neighbors for permission for that. We got quite a few neighbors up there, but now we could probably do some night golf things and try to consider lighting it up. I know, like, Sage Valley down in South Carolina has an amazing lit, like, par 3 course, and but yeah, so we're considering that. One thing we did was we got it rated. So the USGA changed their rating policy for short courses. Prior to that, Hamilton Farm had a par 3 course that's really excellent up in North Jersey, which was rated. So a beginner can build their handicap off of playing these short courses and not have to go to 18 holes, which is
cool.
Pretty cool.
Wow. I love Mountain Shadows in Scottsdale. Have you ever played that incredible short course?
I haven't. I played the Bad Little 9 at Scottsdale National, which was quite an experience. But yeah, I haven't played that one yet.
So how much thought went into distances, right, with something like this? And what are the average kind of distances? Is there a sweet spot for something like this that you look for?
It's kind of all over the place. The longest hole is going to get to right around 150 yards if you really wanted it to.
Okay.
The idea of not having set tees, like, we will have set routings that we can suggest if you wanted to play a rated course. But gotcha. I remember playing golf with my dad growing up. You go to the driving range, you go to the putting green, and you have little contests, like closest to the hole, and whoever wins this gets to pick the next hole. I kind of want to see the same thing happening here. Just go have fun. Like, don't worry about pace of play so much. Don't worry about this. Just make sure you're not bothering anybody else, and learn the game in your own way. Certainly we'll have, like, competitions and different clinics, and our neighbors across at John F. Byrne are operated by the First Tee, which is the city owns, obviously, John F. Byrne. We're going to do a lot with John F. Byrne and the First Tee and bringing that kind of element to these kids. And there's a ton of possibilities that 18 holes, doesn't give you, with all the rules and all the tee times. And this is just a cool outlet to try some new things.
So cool.
Yeah, this 9-hole short course, whatever you want to call it, is catching on, I think, around the country, basically, because I think people after COVID, they're getting interested in golf, but they don't necessarily have 4.5 hours, on a Friday afternoon or Saturday, whatever day you can play, to go out and play 18 holes. But you can get your golf in, and it's not going to take you near as long of a time investment.
Definitely. And then, it's kind of funny. I watch people hit balls here. I'm at Liberty Hill now, and I watch people hit balls on the range. We have TrackMan range here, which tracks every single shot that golfers hit, if you turn the app on or not. It's really cool. And what we notice is the highest majority of shots hit when you go to the range are drivers. No one's working on the short game. And Phil Mickelson always said you should hit 3 short shots for every 1 long shot you hit when you're practicing golf. But no one's ever practicing on the short game area.
Yeah.
This is an excellent way to spend like 45 to an hour 15. Yeah. You get 9 holes in. You're getting really great wedge work. You're going to become a better golfer, and it's more convenient, like you said, Harry.
It's like we talked to Brad Faxon. We said, "What's the key to putting?" He's like, "Putting."
Yeah, exactly.
Actually working on your putting.
Yeah.
Harry, I'm sure there's not going to be any membership gambling on this short course.
No.
Oh no,
I don't think that's something
especially Thursday afternoons. I think we might see a little bit of that.
Wow. It's funny because the short course at Mountain Shadows out in Arizona, it's 18 holes, but they have a 17 and a half hole, and it's like I think it's like a 75-yard putter only. And it literally says how it's like to kind of even up bets because all like the Hollywood execs used to fly in there to play and gamble. So really cool thing. And like you said, Harry, this is something that is, it's something that's wanted and needed. And I think it just gives an extra element of, playing 36, especially when you get up there at a certain age, it could be a little difficult, but having a chance to kind of unwind and have some fun out there. And it's such a cool idea. So congrats to you guys, man. Absolutely.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, well, also, I mean, Moose and I took up the game, not when we were kids. We were,
Right.
adults when we took it up. Way too late. We always bemoan that fact. But if I was a kid and, my mom and dad belong to the Union League and I'm 7, 8 years old or whatever, like this is something where you get up to the first tee. It's not like, wait, Dad, I got to hit it all the greens all the way up there. It's like this sort of brings it all in where you can sort of process it and be like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah, totally. I have 4 young kids myself, and I grew up in the Lehigh Valley, and there were public chip and putts, all over the place. And you could go and just have fun in a lit chip and putt. We don't really have that in Philly. We don't have those options as much. And I think with my young kids, if I'm teaching them how to play golf, it's really intimidating to just take them on the golf course, especially as busy as golf has been.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic outlet. Go hit some balls, walk over to the short course, play a couple holes if you want to, and you kind of ease into it. So I think you're going to see a lot of other courses that have the land to do it, trying something like this. I've even heard of golf courses closing down their driving range and making it a short course if they've got the target green. So I think it's a good way to play golf.
Wow. It's awesome. Congratulations on that. And would love to talk a little bit about some of the other properties. As I mentioned, I was able to play national last year. And I mean, I had expectations just from talking to people. And it's tough when something is built up, but it blew me away. I mean, you don't feel like you're in South Jersey. I don't know where you feel like you are, but I mean, what you guys did down there is just everything about it, just absolutely spectacular. Talk to us about from where that started to kind of where things are now, membership, the course itself, because it seems like it's in a great spot. But I know you guys, you never just rest on your laurels.
Yeah. National is a crazy thing. So we obviously had success at Torresdale with the growth of kind of not changing it, but merging with Torresdale Frankfurt and kind of flipping that property and investing a lot into it to get as much life out of it as possible. I think one thing the Union League does really well is they make anything they get as good as it can possibly be. So they'll invest it. We're not looking at like a 5-year investment. It's for 50 years. It's a multi-generational investment. So if we're going to get something, we're going to make it great. Looking at Sand Barons when it came out in 97 with Herdson and Fry was top 100 modern courses in the country. And then it was a public course for many, many years. And with that, you get depreciation and things just kind of go by the wayside a little bit. And I think the Robertsons, we partnered with them to take over that property. They were the previous owners and they wanted to put it in someone's hands that was going to make it even better. So we brought Dana Fry back. And I don't know if you ever met Dana or talked to Dana. He's like a mad scientist. The guy's got insane vision. And he's looking at a property. He had never done that before. Look at a property he built 20 years ago and be able to walk around and say, man, I wish I could have had the resources to do this or this. And he took some liberties. I remember him like the first 6 holes we did, we were just trying to maybe test Dana out and see what the proof of concept was going to be. And he started cutting and digging holes a little deeper than we thought he would. And the sand piles got higher and higher and higher. And now, I think we have one of the highest points in South Jersey with our biggest landform in the middle of the property. But Dana just kept going and we just let him go and kept building. And it turned into something way bigger than was initially supposed to be. It was a huge investment. But we were, number 2 best new course in the U.S. last year because they called it a new course with all the work that was done. And the membership response was huge. Plus, and frankly, COVID really had a lot to do with that. And a lot of people escaped to the the shore in 2020 and 2021. So it really just kind of exploded, and it's really cool to see. It's a fun property. Jacob Hoffer's doing an awesome job running that property and creating such a cool experience for our members. And we do have a lot more plans in the future. Actually, a short course down there is in the works right now, potentially adding some clubhouses and different things. And we're doing some master planning right now. So,
it's funny. Back when it was the Sand Barons, when I like Harry said, I was in my 30s. My parents had a place in Cape May Courthouse. I took my first ever golf lesson there.
No way.
And I can't remember who the teacher was, but he drew lines and dots on my glove because I had never held a club before.
Oh, wow.
And I had played with that glove. So my buddies used to give me so much crap for it. I remember I played in an outing with Brian from Under Armour. He's like, "What is on your glove?" I'm like, it tells me where to hold my fingers in the glove.
Yeah.
I wish I still had that sometimes, man. Jesus.
It's probably all ripped off. And
Well, yeah. I mean,
we'll make you a new glove, Jeff.
All right, cool. I appreciate it.
Having played Sand Barons a few times and then having the opportunity to play national last year, it's like you don't even recognize the place. It's totally. I'm like trying to remember, what the sort of the landmarks were for the old place. You can't. It's totally different.
It's all dramatic. Yeah, the aesthetic. We're trying to meet Calusa Pines, which Jennifer and I did down in Naples. It's an awesome golf course. So it's like Calusa Pines meets Pine Valley. We took a lot of care to grab a lot of the natural elements from New Jersey. I remember we actually went up to McGuire Air Force Base and we found some shrub off of a runway that's native to that area that someone told us about. And that was planted on a lot of the hills, and so much care and effort went back to that. And I mean, it's something that our members are going to enjoy for generations. And the demand right now is just through the roof. The waiting list is through the roof. And it's really cool to see the success of National.
Yeah, and the Liberty Hill property is fantastic.
Let's wrap it up at Liberty Hill, because I also played that for the first time last year with our friend John Clark.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by that too. The undulations, that course. I mean, that absolutely took me by surprise. Just the way that it lays out, the ups and downs.
Walk and carry your bag on that.
Yeah, I don't know. And the clubhouse, I mean, it's absolutely spectacular. I mean,
Liberty. It's a unique property, and it's always a hidden gem. I feel like it never got a lot of credit. It never got a lot of visibility. They were, the Chubb Insurance Company owned Liberty Hill prior, or it was the Ace Club, and this is a huge property, 312 acre property. You can fit 2 Torresdales into here. Yeah. And it really was built to host big events. It was built to entertain, a very corporate feel to it. So when we came in, we had a tremendous opportunity. Plus, it's very different architecture. So we have this classic Ross, which is so cool in Northeast Philly, and it's very Philadelphia. And then we've got this thing at the shore that's very modern, very beach, very duney, which is really in itself very unique. And then we've got this, which is a massive parkland golf course that could host a large tour event tomorrow if we wanted to. We had the U.S. Open qualifier here last week, and we had a course record set from almost 7,500 yards of 66, which was shot by Peter Bradbeer. Ironically, I used to teach Peter Bradbeer junior golf clinics when I was an assistant at Marion years ago, and it's pretty cool to see him come full circle. And now he's trying to make it on tour. But it really held up well, and the golf course is it's really prime. And like I said before, I don't think a lot of people knew about it as much, and we're getting it out there a little bit more.
I was over there for the Travis Mannion outing 2 weeks ago or so, and I sent you the email. The place just presents so well, and the staff is just fantastic. It's just a great spot.
Oh, thanks, Harry. Yeah, we take a lot of pride in it, and we love what we do. So it's easy when you love coming to work every day.
Tremendous, and you could see it. It shines through. I mean, you talk about the Union League. Philly golf would not be the same without what you guys are doing, and it's awesome when you get a chance, whether it's an outing or through a member to experience some of these places and just see what you guys are putting into it, because it is, from top to bottom, everything about it spectacular. I'll actually be staying out there in a couple of weeks.
There you go.
We got to get that. What are we doing at Ridge Pike? We're going to get that. We got to get that wrapped up out there.
We'll have our own shuttle on Ridge. We'll have to figure that out.
We need a tunnel.
We got it soon, but it always takes a while.
Awesome.
It'll get there.
Who's your pick for the PGA?
Let's get what we got.
Oh man, it's so hard now it's really hard to gauge anybody with live and with
Tell me
everything
about
else, you know. And I mean, it's hard to watch. I don't know what to watch, and I don't know who to handicap anymore, because it's like I don't find myself watching as much golf as I did. And I hate to say that, but
we talk about it week in and week out.
Yeah,
the ratings are indicating that. Yeah.
John Rahm with the strangest comments of all time today. If you guys get a chance to listen to his press conference, that man is so conflicted. It's shining through.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I think I got to go with Rory right now. You got to go with the hot hand, and when that guy's on, he's hard to beat, and who knows what's going on in his head, but we'll see.
Yeah. He looked more like the Rory of 2014 last week. That's for sure.
A little more free.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever pick him at the Masters. But,
no.
We got to see if the young Bennett Scheffler is going to prevent Scotty from just mowing down the field. That might be the only thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that baby would have to give me 3 aside already, probably. You know what I mean, Harry? Yeah. Interesting. But great stuff, Sean. Thank you for joining us, man. We always appreciate you hopping on. We always love hearing about it. Tell the rest of the guys we said hi.
Oh, thanks.
And anything you guys ever need, we're here.
Same here. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
See you, man. All right, let's take a quick break, Harry, and we will be right back. All right, welcome back to Swing It and Ding It Union League, Harry. I mean,
oh yeah.
You can't. I mean, and so different, like you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
all three of the properties are very unique to themselves. Yeah,
so cool. And then, and you know, those guys never stop too. So you know, but the short course thing is awesome, man. I'm so looking forward to playing the hay out of Pebble. But yeah, I mean, just a great way to finish up. You know, whether it's you go out with all access on a buddy's trip. There's a lot of short courses around the world now that you can get to play. But yeah, that's got to be a blast. We're gonna have to get out there and check that out for sure.
Yeah, they got the Cradle down at Pinehurst too, which is the same type of thing going on. A couple of my buddies were down there in the last couple months, and they said it's just fantastic.
Yeah. So. All right, so the Wells Fargo Championship, Harry.
Yeah.
Rory had quite a Sunday. He goes with 2 eagles in an 8-hole stretch. Xander, they're going shot for shot, and then Xander just Xanders. I hate to say it, but like, is there anybody you would want to count on less on a back 9 Sunday?
Yeah,
I mean, Rory turns a 1-shot deficit into a 5-shot win, and he double bogeys 18.
Right,
it would have been a 7-shot win, right, Harry? So
right,
you know, the world number 2 goes 17 under 65 for his 4th win at Quail Hollow. His 26th win. He obviously just got his 25th last week. You know, it was. I thought it was going to be an absolute shootout, and he just took it. He just took over.
Yeah, he put the foot on the gas. You know, once they made the turn, because they were all even. Xander opened up the day with a 1-shot lead. By the time they got to 10T, they're all even. And Rory, like you mentioned, one of the eagles on the par 5 10th, and then Xander makes birdie, so Rory's up 1. And how did he make that eagle? A 34-foot putt he sank. I mean, you know, it was just like he was doing everything. His putter was unbelievable all week. He birdied the short par 4 14th. Xander only made par, so he goes up. Xander bogeyed 12 and 13. So then right there, you knew it was over, right?
Done.
Rory birdies 13, so now he's up 4. He birdied the short par 4 14. Xander made par. He's up 5. Now you're just like, how much is he going to win by? You knew it was over. You know, we didn't get our drama that we were hoping for. And you're thinking like, man, this could be a real showdown, sort of like a Ryder Cup showdown.
It was just 2 guys, right?
You know,
so you
right. It was a 2-horse race.
They're playing together.
Yeah. And it's not like Xander's a short hitter. I know nobody hits it better and farther off the tee than McIlroy, but Schauffele's no slouch off the tee. He gets it out there. Yeah. So, you know, I'm thinking this could be pretty good. And, you know, like you said, Xander just, you know, went back to being Xander. He just doesn't make enough birdies when he needs to on a Sunday, or he'd have so many more wins because he's terrific. I mean, he's so solid throughout his game.
Yeah, but it's wild to see him, and we're going to see the line, but like, how he's sitting at Xander, we're talking about at 1,400 ahead of Rahm and Koepka and Oberg and DeChambeau. Like, who is betting him to win the PGA Championship after last week? I know he always shows up well in top 5s and top 10s. But that win
but you're
number,
right. Yeah, to win, I just can't see it. But the tournament itself, man, how about the amount of bogeys and double bogeys? You were thinking that this was the U.S. Open. I mean, that golf course, I know it's a big boy golf course. We talked about it last week, and it's held major championships, and it's going to hold more, and it's held Ryder Cups. But, man, that thing played tough.
It did.
I mean, I had Wyndham Clark. He makes a birdie on the first hole on Thursday and then goes double, and it was over. Like, he could never recover from that. So yeah, I mean, it played so hard. Harmon, Lowry, Clark, and Tom Kim all finished +7. Fitzpatrick, Rose, Tigala, and Finau, all quality players, were +8. Zalatoris finished +10. Eric Cole, our buddy, DFL at +18. I mean, we know how good of a player that guy is and has been having a great year. I mean, only 20 of the 68 players finished under par.
Man.
Yeah.
How about our guy Denny? He gets a T6.
Right. Yeah, he showed up.
He showed up.
I did have a couple wins. I put out 4 winners and McCarthy was one in a top 20. Ben on, Max Homa. Homa always seems to be around, hanging around. But man, I'll tell you,
Sanjay's playing some good golf.
Yeah,
right
Sanjay's he won overseas apparently in Korea a couple of weeks ago, which I wasn't aware of, and then showed up well this week. So we might see him in the second half of the season making some noise.
Yeah, and you had Jason Day with T4 as well. How about that outfit on? I guess it was Saturday, Friday. I think
it was Saturday. Oh,
Havana Nights. I mean,
yeah,
this company is just using this guy.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I hope they're paying him well. I'm sure they are.
I'm sure they are.
Because my goodness, it just looks so uncomfortable. I don't know.
And like that, he wears a regular hat with like the Walt logo on it that just doesn't go with any of the stuff, right? No. The whole thing is just bizarre. Yeah. But hey,
it really is.
Who am I to talk about one's fashion choices?
Yeah,
exactly.
You know what I
mean? But
yeah,
it just seems a little bit disingenuous in a way.
But yeah, I mean, Rory McIlroy couldn't be hotter coming into a major championship, in which he hasn't won since he won it here in 2014. Think about that. 10 years ago was his last major, and it was at this very place. And he comes in as hot as anybody on the planet with 2 wins, one in the team event, and then an elevated event, a signature event last week. But Chris Gotterup, too, got a win in Myrtle Beach. I didn't get to see any of this, really. I saw some highlights, and the golf course looked fantastic. But 22 under, he won by 6 shots, and it's only his 27th career start. And the final round, he started bogey. Yeah, and the nerves. I mean, thinking he's holding a big lead coming into Sunday. He's never won on this tour before. Starts out bogey. Then he goes birdie, eagle, birdie. Boom!
Wow! It's like the opposite. Like Rory goes out and birdies number 1 against Xander and ties it up right away. Right? It's like that start on Sunday says a lot, but sometimes it says a lot if you can recover quickly and turn it around. So, yeah, I mean, it was a good shape up, good warm up for a lot of these guys. We talked about Scotty Scheffler, Meredith. Finally seemed to be the longest pregnancy ever, just because we were talking about it back in the Masters, but. Scotty was there, practicing already and seems to be poised and ready to go. So good for Scotty. Congratulations to the Schefflers.
Absolutely. And how about that name, Bennett Boone Scheffler? If that doesn't speak Texas, I don't know anything.
When can we bet the futures on a Masters win? Is that out yet on DraftKings? Right. I'm checking right now. We got to use code DING if you want to check that one out.
That's cool.
We always talk about the link in our bio. Very important for 2 reasons. One, the information on our golf outing is there as we kind of start to round things out because it's getting really, really tight. Talk to some more sponsors. We have some more stuff going to be involved this year, maybe bigger and better than ever. We'll see how that goes. And also All Access, our official golf travel partners who we mentioned, All Access GTE. In that bio, in that Instagram bio, there's a portal where you can unlock the golf experiences you've always dreamed of. Those guys have decades of experience in crafting unforgettable tailored golf adventures, from casual outings to luxurious getaways. Picture a buddy's trip to St. Andrews or a stroll through legendary Amen Corner. Elevate your golf experience with All Access GTE. Head to the link in our Instagram bio for a special portal for our listeners to unlock the golf experiences you've always dreamed of. Check those guys out. One and done, Harry. I held out on Brooks. I kept them for this reason. Are you on him too, or did you ready to use him?
I am too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm sure he's going to be a very popular pick, and there's every reason to believe he's going to come in here and play well. Because both he and John Rahm were embarrassed at the Masters. They finished +9. They were 20 shots off the pace of Scotty Scheffler. And I'm telling you that both of those guys are very proud guys, and they majors mean a lot to both of them, especially Brooks. That's basically all he competes for. So I'm expecting big efforts out of both of those guys from the LIV Tour. But I did take Koepka as well.
Then our DraftKings contest is live. Still some spots available.
Yeah, John Cooper Jr. last week took down another win. He's taken the bag a few times since we've been doing this. So congratulations to John Cooper Jr. and General Eyes 44 finished in the money in second place. I was in 8th place, well off the pace.
I think I was I was in second place on Saturday, and I
Were
finished like 22nd. I think it was Morikawa maybe that just tanked it for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Saw a couple guys did, but I'm like, what just happened?
Right.
Turns around quickly, but
yep.
It's major championship week, Harry. PGA Championship at Valhalla. All the stars are out. Tiger's out there on the range.
Yep.
Scotty's back. The LIV guys are over there. The press conferences, the whole nine.
Ludwig is back.
Ludwig is back. And Valhalla, let's talk about the course, of course, because like any major, a lot of times that is the biggest story is the golf course itself that they're playing.
Yeah. And they haven't been here since 2014. Like we mentioned, Louisville, Kentucky. It's hosting its 4th PGA Championship. The first one was back in '96, won by Mark Brooks in a playoff over Kentucky native Kenny Perry. And then in 2000, you all remember this great match between Tiger Woods and Bob May, who a lot of folks probably never even really remembered Bob May. He was a phenom junior player in California growing up with Tiger, and they competed a lot as youngsters. And, his pro career never really went where it was supposed to go, but it did the week of the PGA Championship, and they had an unbelievable battle that went to 3 playoff holes that Tiger ended up winning. 2014, we talked Rory McIlroy. His most recent major win was here. They've had senior PGAs here. 2004 and 2011 won by Hale Irwin and Tom Watson respectively, and of course the 2008 Ryder Cup, which was won by the USA 16.5 to 11.5. That was when Paul Azinger was the captain, and he had the pod system, and they beat Nick Faldo's European squad. So they've hosted it. I mean, you name it, and this place can host. It's par 72. Close to 7,600 yards now. They keep stretching this thing out.
Wow. It's
a Jack Nicklaus design, and you got 4 par 5s, the 2nd, the 7th, the 10th, and the closing hole, the 18th, which we'll talk about. 4 par 3s, 3, 8, 11, and 14, and there's some long ones. They're well over 200 yards, especially that 14th hole. The greens are kind of smallish for tour standards, only averaging around 5,000 square feet. You're going to have 2 bodies of water that meander their way through the property that figure in on 7 of the holes. Brush Run Creek, which is on the back 9, and is very significant on 2 of the holes that we're going to talk about. And then Floyd's Fork on the front 9. They switched out the grass at this place since they were here last. There's now zoysia fairways, bluegrass rough, and bent grass greens. And they've actually done something pretty significant. They've removed the strip of fairway grass between the fairway bunkers and the fairway where it was rough, which would prevent balls from running into the fairway bunkers. They got rid of that. It's fairway zoysia right into the bunker. So it's going to play a lot like a links style course that you see over in Scotland and England. So those balls are going to keep running and they'll go right into the fairway bunkers. So watch out for that. We'll start on the 13th hole, which is kind of the signature hole. It's a shorter par 3 called the Island. Has an island green surrounded with a cool limestone rock wall and a nice waterfall off to the right of the green. The hole ranges from between 350 and 360 yards. And guys are going to be, using different clubs off the tee there, but very cool hole. Then you go to the long par 3, 14th. It's called 2 Tears, as in crying tears. 255 yards from the back tee, Moose. And the green's well guarded by a deep bunker in the front right. And the green is kind of offset with two distinct tiers in them. And a Jack Nicklaus signature to his design is offset greens that kind of are diagonal in shape, from where they stand towards the fairway. Par 4, 15th holes, 435 yards, a slight bend to the left off the fairway with a fairway bunker on the right. Now the creek, this is the Brush Run Creek, comes into play on the right side on the approach, all the way up to another one of these offset greens with a bunker on the near right corner and another stone wall. The hole is obviously called On the Rocks. Then you go to the 16th, you start coming back towards the clubhouse, and this is where the playoff started with Tiger Woods and Bob May back in the day. Par 4, 515 yards, tree-lined fairway, subtle left to right bend in the fairway, long approach to another offset green with a pot-style bunkers guarding the green. It's called Down the Stretch, a little horse racing name there. And then we go to the 17th hole, which is 475-yard par 4, a twisting fairway, kind of sort of like a little bit of a double dog leg with bunkers on either side of the landing area and the approach to a large green with a large bunker complex guarding the left side. And in that playoff, I believe Bob May put his approach shot into that bunker and made an unbelievable bunker shot that almost went in. So that bunker is going to play heavy on Sundays for the Sunday. Then the par 5 18th hole, 575, fairway bends left to right, big bunkers on the left, and kind of a stream, sort of a man-made water hazard on the right. That kind of looks real pretty, but you don't want to be in it, obviously. And then a large boomerang-shaped green with a big pot bunker that kind of sits right in the middle of the boomerang, and it's got multiple tiers on it. Bob May almost made his birdie putt. We had to come up over the hill, and it came right down to the hole, a couple inches away. He needed to make that to force another playoff hole. He did not. Tiger ended up in the bunker, made a great bunker shot, and made par to win the hole.
Tremendous.
And the match. Yeah.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
And
now,
go ahead. I'm
go
sorry.
Ahead. Oh, but if you remember, I don't know if you've seen any of these clips. If not, you got to go back and watch the playoff, because on that 18th hole, when Tiger teed off, he kind of blocked his tee shot to the right, way across, nowhere near the fairway, over the dunes, and the ball disappeared right down this hill. And you see this, one of the fans running. He goes out of camera view, and the ball's out of camera view. Then all of a sudden, a few seconds later, the ball shoots out further down the cart path, and here's the dude running. And a lot of people swear that this guy touched the ball or kicked it to keep it going down the fairway instead of going into a worse hazardous spot.
No
for Tiger.
way.
Yes, it's a lot of mystery around this.
Was
Tiger,
he on the grassy knoll? Where was he?
It was kind of a grassy knoll. You're exactly right. So you got to go back and watch it. It was great. But that's on that 18th hole. It was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great stuff. This is a major championship, so only one winner since 2019 has been better than 10 under. That was Morikawa at 13 in 2022. How about Rory coming in hot, and he has 7 top 10s in the last 10 majors.
Yeah.
Right. And like you said, he wins here. 7 of the 14 winners of the last 14 winners here are first-time major winners, though. And there's a bit of a sweet spot that we see with the PGA Championship as we kind of move into seeing the line. 6 of the last 10 winners closed at 2,000 or shorter odds. But Rory in 14 was the only player in the last decade was shorter than $1,000 odds. So it's kind of like that sweet spot between 1,000 and 2,000 is where you see most of your winners. And as we head into the PGA Championship.
Well, guess who's in that sweet spot? Our guy Koepka.
He sure is. He sure is, Harry. He sure is. And you can get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting operator of the PGA Tour. This week, new customers can turn $5 into $150 instantly in bonus bets on any golf bet. We talked about the short odds of Scotty Scheffler. Rory, I thought they'd actually be a little closer. He's at 750. And we talked about, strange that Xander is still up there. But download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code DING. New customers can bet $5 to get $150 instantly in bonus bets only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code DING. The crown is yours. So who we liking, Harry? I got a couple plays here. I got a couple matchups. I'm probably going to change my mind a million times, but I'll tell you what I like right now.
Yeah, it's early in the week. I mean, we're recording a little early this week, so we have the right to change our minds between now and Thursday morning. But you mentioned, DraftKings, of the top 10 favorites as of yesterday, when I was looking at this, 5 were live golfers and 5 were PGA Tour golfers. Brooks, Rahm, Bryson, Neiman, and Cam Smith all getting in there. So it's kind of evenly split. Pretty interesting.
Yeah. What do you think about Tiger versus Phil? Tiger has shorter odds.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think finishes better in this event? I got a weird Tiger feeling this
Do
week.
you really?
I don't know why. I don't think he's. But I could see a top 20.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then you take him over Phil then.
Yeah, but also Phil won the PGA Championship a couple of years ago.
Not too many years ago.
I think Tiger is gonna beat Phil this week. But
okay.
Yeah,
I'll take the other side of that.
All right. Yeah. We'll go sandwich. We'll go sandwich on that.
Yeah, a little sandwich. Yeah.
I like it. Dog at the turn. All right.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, can you get a play on that? Is that available on DraftKings? I didn't see that.
It's not a matchup, but that should be. That would be cool. Wait, there's Tiger specials, so maybe.
Okay.
I don't see it on there, but
well, I know in the matchup section on DraftKings, get this number: Scheffler minus 155 over Rory.
Wow.
Okay, and Xander, because we were talking about him, like who's picking him? Minus 140 over John Rahm.
Wow.
In a matchup on DraftKings.
Wow.
I thought those numbers, I'm not taking either one of those, but I thought those numbers were pretty significant.
Yeah. I'll tell you a couple of matchups I am taking.
Go ahead.
I like Cam Young plus 100 over Hovland.
Yeah.
And I like Homa plus 115 over Morikawa.
Yeah. I like
those are the matchups.
Okay. I'm going to do a couple matchups as well. Siwoo Kim minus 130 over that man Gooch.
I saw that one. I was
see that one.
Yeah,
I'm riding Siwoo, shaking that ass. Okay, and then I'm taking Brooks Koepka minus 130 over Bryson DeChambeau. I couldn't resist that one. Although I think Bryson's going to play well, but I'm taking Brooks and McCarthy. Our guy Denny McCarthy minus 120 over Patrick Reed.
I like it. I'm actually I like Denny McCarthy in the top 5 at 2,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. And I have a weird Bryson feeling this week too. I don't know. I don't love that number at 2,800, but I could see him winning this event. Homa at 3,500. It's a decent number for an event like this. Wyndham Clark, I thought I was going to be heavier on him. It's a nice number at 4,500 though. If you think he can turn it around this week. But yeah, that's it for now.
Well, speaking of Wyndham Clark, I had him at 1 and done last week, so it figures he will probably play really well this week. So I took him in a top 10 at plus 360.
I like it.
I took Rahm in a top 10 at plus 165 and Sam Burns in a top 20 at plus 220. And then I took 3 top 30s. I got plus 140 on both Straka and Zalatoris, and Noren has been playing really good golf, plus 165 in a top 30.
I like it.
So
great stuff. Stay tuned to our social medias. We'll put out some more stuff throughout the week and keep you posted on any spots left for the DraftKings contest.
Yeah, and then we had the senior major. The first of their 5 majors was last weekend. Doug Barron, who was a journeyman on the PGA Tour back in the late 90s, early 2000s, won his first senior major, 17 under par, and he outdueled Ernie Els on the final day. He had 238 starts on the PGA Tour, never won anything. This is his 3rd career win on the Tour Champion. So it's kind of cool to see some of these guys. You're like, who is that guy? Where did he come from? And he wins a major championship. And then Rose Zhang, I watched some of this. I was DVRing the LPGA. She won her 2nd LPGA title. Of course, the star from Stanford, who just graduated college. She was in class up until the first quarter of this year. She made birdies on 4 of her final 5 holes to close the door over Madeline Sagstrom. Nelly Korda, of course, was going for 6 in a row. She shot 73 on the weekend to finish T7. And, of course, they've got the U.S. Open at Lancaster Country Club coming up in 2 weeks.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Now the weather's been crap around here, Harry. Every weekend is just a disaster. Did you get out? Did you play any golf?
Well, I did. I played 9 holes on Sunday just to get out because I wanted to hit. I wanted to get out and swing the club, and that was fine. But I played on Friday, and the weather was okay. But I had, it's Friday. Had the worst warm up I can recall. Okay. And this is what I wanted to talk about for my personal experience. That, you're thinking like Tiger Woods, when he would have a bad warm up, and I'm not comparing myself in any respect to Tiger Woods, okay? But he would talk about like he's to his dad, like I had a crappy warm up. And he's like, well, are you warm? In other words, did you loosen up? And he's like,
Right.
yes, that's all it was for. Like, in other words, don't get crazy
score, right?
that you didn't hit great shots on the range when you're warming up. And I get all that. But I didn't hit one solid golf shot in my warm-up.
That's
and
so weird.
I went to the first tee with absolutely zero confidence and zero expectation, and I played like garbage over the first 3 or 4 holes until I started I made a couple pars then. But man,
it's hard to get out of the head, man.
It really is. It really, because my golf course, for me, the start is very difficult for me. The first 2 holes are you got to
hit a little cut. You got to hit a little cut if you can.
I have a mental
run
block.
Down. And I've been in those trees to the right. Probably every time I've played on one.
Yeah,
at 1912.
Yeah. So I have a mental block for those holes to begin with, and then when I'm going to the first tee, knowing I haven't hit one good shot in the warm up, it's all bad. So that was my personal experience for the week. I think it's important to at least hit a handful of good shots before you go out.
Yeah, I haven't had a warm up in the past 3 rounds I've played. But really? I did play Bala. We got out to Bala last week.
Okay,
so fun. I mean, that course is just a blast. And I had the worst front 9 I've had in a long time, and the best back 9 I've had in a long time. Okay, so weird.
Now, how many times did you use the driver? Only on the 10th hole?
I used it a couple times because I was just hitting like an easy little cut, and it was like one of the only clubs I had confidence in, especially on the front. Okay. And I'm just getting used to the new PXG driver, so just wanted to get some hits on it to see which way it goes. But I'm finding myself. I feel like I've been forcing a draw for too long, and it makes me too robotic and too thinking about the swing. And when I just open up a little bit and just swing freely, I'm hitting the ball with a lot better contact.
Well, and plus you hit it so far, like a cut for you is still going to go plenty far enough with a driver.
Yeah, I hope so.
Cuts don't go as far as draws,
right? Of course, typically. Yeah.
You don't even need it. You could take 20 yards off of what you normally hit a draw and still be fine.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just try to go see if that works for a little while. But getting used to the new PXG clubs, they're like weapons. These things are like, you hold it, you're like, wow, this is sturdy. So definitely got to get some swings in as much as possible if this weather would ever be consistently good. But I guess the end is near for this crap. We'll see.
Yeah, it'll get there. So you feel good with the new sticks though? Like you're starting to get used to them, and
yeah,
good.
I do. I really like the driver, the Black Ops driver. Feels great, has a great look to it. It's solid, man. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, no doubt.
What degree is it? Is it 10.5?
10.5. 10.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Now we guys still have to throw out one more.
Yeah.
Congrats to the guys at Lulu Golf Club takes down another title in the Gap team matches. So congratulations to John Rusk and Jim Sullivan and all the guys.
Crazy how early in the year, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy how early in the year that happens.
Yeah, it's always late April, early May, and it's like 3 weeks and it's over. But man, they had quite a day and won another title. So
some killers out there, man.
Oh yeah,
some killers out there.
Absolutely,
great group, great membership. We always love supporting the Lulu guys. And congrats to Sully and the squad on taking that down for sure. No doubt about it. Any plans to get back out?
I'm trying to get out. Actually, might be getting out with the wife at Liberty Hill on Friday.
Oh, beautiful.
Then she goes to Vegas on Saturday for a couple of days, and I go play in my high school athletic department booster outing. I go up there every year to Myerstown, PA, Lebanon Valley Golf Club, and we play a scramble and just raise money for the football team and so forth. And it's always a lot of fun. And then I'll come back home and play at 1912 Club on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna try
Weather
to get the
permitting.
Legacy at some point. Yeah, Saturday now is looking no rain, but like not great. But Sunday looks not so good. But
Oh boy,
this is crazy, man.
I
We got to
know.
get out of this rut.
But it was in the 40s on Sunday.
Brutal.
It's mid-May.
Yeah.
40 degrees. It felt like March.
Yeah, it is unbearable. But what are you gonna do? There'll be more time to swing it and ding it throughout the summer. But yeah, great stuff. Again, thank you to Sean Palmer, director of golf out at Union League. Love hearing what those guys are doing. I know they're going to be sharing more. We're going to share a couple pictures and videos of the landing in our socials. And PGA Championship, Harry. Let's see. Brooksy.
Yeah, follow them at Union League Golf too on Instagram, and then of course we'll link up everything because I'm anxious to see some videos from that place.
That's right. All right, we'll be back next week to see who took down the PGA Championship. See you then.
Go Brooks.